Alright, so here we're going to have a quick review of the Celest Phoenixcall. Celest is a company by Kinera. This is a $130 tribrid. So let's get into it. It's going to be a 1 dynamic, 2 BA, and 2 micro-planar driver IEM. And let me just say, this box and this whole unboxing experience is something that I would expect from an IEM that costs way more. I think that this whole experience you could have told me was for a $300 IEM. Easily, I would have believed you. This is better than a lot of $300 IEM unboxing experiences. I really think that this is just a gorgeous, this is a magnetic box. And it comes with this really cool, I saw people say it's a bookmark. I don't know what you would say this is, but it looks cool. I mean, and you see the IEMs presented here. It talks about how, 100 birds flock to Phoenixcall. It's a legend from Chinese myth, apparently. And yeah, so you can take this out. And I forgot to put one of the tips back inside, but that's fine. We're very professional here. You get this booklet here with information you probably don't care about. So let's get this box out of the way here. And get the IEMs out. Let's take these out. Cable out. Close that back up. Alright. And let's open this up. You're gonna have a case in here with the tips and everything inside. There we go. And silica gel packet. So this IEM comes with 2 different types of tips. You're gonna get, well, actually, let me talk about the case first. I like this case actually even more than a lot of the other ones I say I like, because it is very small and it is decent quality. Yeah, Celeste kind of printed in there poorly, but still, it's just overall, it's a good case. It'll go in your pocket. It will perform what it's supposed to do well. It will be able to pocket your IEMs and protect them. It's a hard case, and yeah, I like this. I like this style of case. So anyway, the 2 tips. There's these gray tips. And then it also comes with these clear tips. Let me see if I'll just take one of these out. So it comes with these gray tips and these clear tips. I found the gray tips, if my camera would like to focus, thank you. The gray tips would be a little bit sharp and harsh, so I didn't use these. But I think the clear tips sounded alright. They sounded a little bit distant though, the sound. So moving to the spin fits that I like to use on all my IEMs. These are the, I think CP100 extra smalls. The purple ones. These are what I found to have the best sound, so I'm going to be reviewing based on how they sound with those tips. Alright, let me get these out of the way. And we'll talk about the cable now. So let me unplug this. And I know the cable looks like a mess, but I actually really like this cable. First of all, it looks really nice, really shiny. If you get the other color, which is purple and blue, it will come with a purple and blue cable, which is nice if you like that color combination, but I like the clear, and we'll talk about the design afterwards, but let's talk about this cable first. I think this cable is really nice. It stays very straight. It's not the softest, most supple cable, but it's not stiff. It stays straight. It's easy to work with, but it's not the most supple. It looks nice and it feels really good quality. I think this cable is probably one of the best cables I've seen in the price range. It is, as you can see, a little bit a little bit stiff, but it's pretty nice to use. I found it to be really well handled and really good for handling. And also I found these hooks to be really wrap around my ears better than usual for most IEMs. So I think that this is actually a good cable. I like this cable for $130 IEM. I think this is a great inclusion. One of the better cables in the price range. Now let's talk about design, comfort, all that. So I got the clear version. They seem to advertise the blue and red one more, where the red is the right side, blue is the left side. I'm not a big fan of that kind of thing, but I know a lot of people are. For me, I like these, and let me just say, this design, I'm a huge fan. I really like this faceplate. Right now it looks extra shiny because my phone's flashlight is on to be able to get better shot in, but you got these little birds on them, and it just one side is this light blue, the other side is this dark blue, and then you have a pretty nice clear resin shell with Celest on one side. I think the other side says Phoenixcall. Yeah. And you can really see, the micro-planars and the dynamic and the two BAs really clearly. I won't say it's as clear resin as the Juzzier 41T, but it's still very nice looking resin. You can see all the drivers pretty well. And overall, I'm a big fan of this design. And for comfort, I found with all the tips, but especially the spin fits for me, these were very comfortable Iems. Even though they look a little bit long and a little bit deep insertion, they are not. They're quite comfortable. I found the shaping to be quite good for long periods of listening. One of the more comfortable Iems I've used. Now, let's get into sound, what you probably care about the most here. And some of you may skip the video to get to this part. The sound on these, I find to be probably... It's very niche, but I think a lot of you are gonna like it. So I guess not niche, but it's not for me. But I can see why a lot of people would like these Iems. The quality is very good. The bass quality is excellent. But I won't say it's to emphasize the bass. It does lean V-shape, but it is more emphasis in the treble. It has a large treble emphasis on these things. But it's excellently done treble. Very clear, very detailed. This has more treble detail, in my opinion, than the Quintet, which is $220. These have excellent treble detail without getting to the point of sibilance. Every once in a while, the S sounds can sound a little bit sharp for me, but otherwise, these are very, very clear. One of the most detailed sets I've, not even just in treble, and even in the mid-range has good detail. The bass is really tight. Excellent detail all around on these things. I was shocked listening to these when I heard the amount of detail coming out of this $130 set of Iems. This is a detail level that I would expect in $400 sets. This is excellent detail. I can't stress this enough. The detail is so good for the price. I love it. Those micro-planars must be doing something crazy. But yeah, excellent detail. I forgot to mention there are 2-pin Iems. But yeah, they're just detail very good. Now let's go bass mid tights again. So bass is tight, it's clean, but it's not very heavily emphasized. It is more prominent than the mids, which I will get into. But the bass is just, it's great quality. It's not as good quality as the Quintet. Obviously, Quintet is great bass, but it's still very good. I'd say it gets pretty close, but it's much less quantity. This has it's a modest amount of bass. It complements the track. It's not an emphasis on these Iems too much. The mids though, this is where I kind of don't agree with these Iems. For me, they're not working with me. The vocals are very pushed back. They come from, like, the source feels kind of small. It's not thin necessarily. It doesn't sound like, it doesn't have that thin hollowness that a lot of Iems have. I think this has a very good quality mid-range, but it's very recessed. And it's very, it comes like from a very small source in the middle, if that makes any sense. The vocalist sounds small behind the rest of the track, especially, the treble. And more instruments, brighter instruments will come more forward, especially because there's so much detail. The rest of the tracks tends to overwhelm a lot of vocalists and singers in the track for me. But it's still good quality mid-range. You're just not getting a good quality vocals. It's just you're not going to get a lot of it. Now going to the highs, as I said, the highs are incredible. If you are a treble head on a budget, this is what you get. I cannot think of better treble on any IAM under $250 than this. This has fantastic treble, really fantastic to me. I think that, again, I was really shocked when I put these in my ears. Like 3 songs in, I was like, wow, the amount of detail I'm hearing on this set is ridiculous, really ridiculous. Great extension. Really, if you like V-shaped IAMs or you're a treble head, this is an excellent set. Now, I'm a picky person with IEMs, and I'm not going to keep these because I personally do not like sacrificing vocal presence in my music because I listen to a lot of genres. But if you're not, if your music library doesn't have too much vocalist tracks or too much singers or too much mid-range, especially if you like EDM, this is an excellent for EDM. Even, you know, if there's like, you know, vocals in the EDM track, I think this still does EDM very well, really well. I really enjoyed EDM on these. But if you're somebody who's willing to sacrifice some of the vocal performance for like and push it back a little bit to get that really clear treble and great precise bass, really it has good imaging too, great imaging. This is a good set. Now, for soundstage, these are wide. Like I'd say that they're on the wider side actually, but I'd say the depth is pretty poor. It actually even sounds a little bit like a 2D. It's like a plane in front of you, it's very much like left to right. There's not much depth to the soundstage, but it has great detail in the stage. I mean, I just can't get over the detail level on these things. It really shocked me here. I like this set. I think that if you want a wide stage with good detail and you're willing to have those small sacrifices for some people, where you know, you don't care too much about the vocalist being forward, you're fine with it being pushed back, I think that this is probably the best set you can get at this price range. I mean, $130? Yeah, this is an absolute recommendation from me. These are excellent. All right. I hope this video helped out. See ya.